Thanks to an Oklahoma law that was passed last year, patrons of restaurants can take their drinks to go in a pre-sealed container. Well, a new bill aims to add on to that law, allowing people to take their drinks in the original container it comes in. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with a local restaurant's experience with the to-go drinks and how they think this new bill could impact them and their customers.
Plus, how the war in Ukraine is affecting lesson plans here in the 4 states. And the Missouri Southern women play for a spot in the MIAA semifinals.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Last year, a law passed allowing Oklahomans to take alcoholic drinks to go. Well, a new bill aims to add on to that, allowing the drinks to be taken in their original containers. This is KOAM News at 10. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with a Grove restaurant operator who says this bill could really help amid supply chain issues.
Last year, Oklahoma lawmakers passed a bill allowing for to-go cocktails in the Sooner State. Jason Evans, general manager of Mulligan's in Grove, says they've seen great success having people use the service.
It's been pretty good. Obviously, it's different coming in and dining and having a few drinks versus taking one home. But yeah, we do. There's at least an order a day that we'll do some cocktails to go.
But Evans says they haven't been immune to supply chain issues. At the time of our interview, Mulligan's was out of the containers needed for patrons to be allowed to take drinks home with them.
Especially when this first started, you know, the containers were highly available, and obviously through the pandemic and supply issues, like, you know, it's really hard to get stuff consistently. So sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't.
Well, a new bill in the Oklahoma House could fix that. House Bill 3732 would add on to last year's to-go cocktails law, but change the definition of the container the drink could be taken in. Right now, Oklahomans can take their drinks to go in a pre-sealed container. If this bill passes, they'll be able to take their drinks as is.
I think it would be huge for us on the operation side because, you know, you don't have that extra container that you have to worry about getting, inventorying, you know, storage, this and that. It takes out a step that makes it faster for the guests, that makes it better for the guests, overall experience getting it to go.
Plus, they already have customers take advantage of to-go drinks daily. If this passes, it could enhance their experience. In Grove, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
That bill has not yet been heard in a committee. Looking forward to at least one more nice day, or maybe more. Doug Heddy.
Yeah, all week long we've had just fantastic temperatures across the region. Temps into the 70s, pushing 80 over the past couple days. And we did it again today. Normal high is 55. 78 is where we topped out. Now the record is 81, so we actually made a run at that. We started out chilly at 41 during the morning hours. We have plenty of sunshine all day long, but now we are seeing the clouds increasing out across the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. This is the beginnings of our next storm system, which is brewing back toward the west. So we are going to get clouds in here. We are going to have a lot more clouds tomorrow. The temperatures still look pretty good. All right, anywhere from a wide range from 40s to 50s right now, and I think most of us will drop back to 48 or 50 degrees a little bit later on tonight. The wind's kind of all over the place with a weak little front kind of draped through. But 48 to start, 56 by 9, 68 by noon, high temp of 73. Of course, we're going to look at thunderstorm chances for the weekend here in just a bit.
Then, City of Joplin gave residents the chance tonight to learn about the proposed changes to the city's zoning code. It hasn't been updated since 2004, and officials say that's too long.
Like I said, our code's almost 2 decades old, so it was constructed at a time where there wasn't so many high buildings, like even just a 4-story hotel. But that's something that will now be more permissible in the new code. Things that people are used to seeing are going to be more permissible that were kind of bottlenecked under the old code.
Residents will get another chance to hear about the proposed changes on March 28th. Then the council will consider the new zoning codes on first reading in April. The Kansas Corporation Commission approves a settlement allowing Kansas Gas Service to recover costs from last year's winter storms from 2 party marketers and transportation customers. Now, a month ago, they approved the settlement for the gas service to recover costs from sales customers. This settlement will allow them to recover $52 million from marketers and transportation customers, rather than also passing that cost onto sales customers. 100 days ago, a wrongly convicted Missouri inmate was released from prison. Tonight, reporter Angie Racono tells us what life's been like for Kevin Strickland since his release.
I've been up against the devil for 43 years, and he was winning. He was winning.
Kevin Strickland says he's grateful to Kansas City for everything.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
He left prison in a bright spotlight.
For real? I don't feel like I'm worthy of all that kind of attention, really. I mean, I did what any person that was determined to live do. You keep going.
He's now settling in.
I bake, I cook. Yeah, I got a cheesecake at home right now. Tomorrow's my daughter's birthday. I made her cheesecake. She's coming to town. So she won't see this. She'll have the cheesecake for if she ever knows about this.
Strickland says he wakes as early as 4:30 for good reason.
I know I can't catch up with that time, make up for that time, but the time that's ahead of me, I want to use it, not sleeping.
Strickland will soon have surgery to help with nerve damage. He currently uses a walker or wheelchair to get around, something he blames on poor prison medical care. Incarceration also affected his stomach.
No food satisfies me. I'm never hungry.
Really?
No, never hungry. Matter of fact, food kind of disgusts me.
Strickland says it's tough to switch back to home-cooked meals.
Yeah, so I found myself just last few days ago making a prison meal, and it went down well. It really did. Ramen noodle soup with tuna in it, jalapeno peppers, cheese, crackers on the side.
Again, that was Angie Rakono reporting. Still ahead, Russian forces have taken their first major Ukraine city, Kherson. We're going to have more on the war in Ukraine and how that war is changing lesson plans here in the 4 states. The war in Ukraine is now in its 2nd week. A U.S. Defense Department official says 90% of the Russian forces that are at the border have been sent into Ukraine to fight. Skylar Henry reports.
Russian missiles rained down on homes, apartment buildings, and 2 schools in the northern Ukrainian city of Chernihiv. Local officials say at least 33 people died. Russian forces have taken the port city of Kherson. They've also surrounded Mariupol, shelling a soccer field that killed this 16-year-old boy. Heavy strikes continue to target Kharkiv and just outside the capital, Kyiv. Pregnant mothers there are taking shelter in the basement of the city's maternity hospital.
We are living in real hell. I could never imagine that something like that can happen in 21st century.
Ukrainian officials say Russian forces are now closing in on Europe's largest nuclear plant in the south of the country. Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, is pleading with the U.S. and NATO to establish a no-fly zone. During televised comments, Russia's President Vladimir Putin said operations in Ukraine were going according to plan. Here in Washington, the Biden administration announced a new round of sanctions targeting more Russian oligarchs and their families, each picked for their close proximity to President Putin in hopes he'll feel the economic squeeze. Seizures of oligarch property are underway around the world, and many of Russia's richest are now prohibited from traveling to the U.S.
Our interest is in maintaining the strongest unified economic impact campaign on Putin in all history.
The Biden administration has asked Congress to approve $10 billion in new funding for the humanitarian and military aid in Ukraine, and they want it approved next week. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Shelling at the nuclear plant has started a fire in one of the 6 reactors. A government official told the Associated Press that elevated levels of radiation were detected near the plant, which provides about 25% of Ukraine's power. Facebook is joining the wave of companies working to clamp down on the proliferation of Russian state media. The social media giant says it'll demote all of that type of material on its platforms, including posts that contain links to Russian-controlled state media. The company has already blocked access to RT and Sputnik within the European Union. The move comes following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. While that war in Ukraine continues, it's causing changes here at home to some history classes. Doug Logan is a social studies teacher at Carl Junction High School. He's teaching a course called Current World Affairs, and the Russian-Ukraine situation has altered what he's teaching and how he's teaching it. Logan says despite an ever-evolving lesson plan, the current situation has made it easy to plan for each day.
And as a history teacher, it's very encouraging for me to see these kids using examples from history, comparing it now to what's going on the Ukrainian border, saying, oh my goodness, we've seen this before, or why aren't we doing this? And the reason they're asking those questions, they're basing that on prior knowledge, and they're using that knowledge of history to try to make informed decisions today.
Logan says he hopes students will better understand the local impact of historical events like this and pay more attention should similar situations arise in the future. That conflict in Ukraine is helping push mortgage rates lower, at least for now. According to Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage averaged 3.76% in the last week. It's the second week in a row that rates have fallen after weeks of increases. The rates dropped as a result of receding U.S. Treasury yields as investors moved to the safety of bonds due to Russia invading Ukraine. Freddie Mac says rates will likely increase again in the coming months. Later, the Missouri Southern women are playing for a spot in the conference semifinals. We'll have highlights in sports.
Plus, temperatures still look pretty good for the next couple days, but some thunderstorm chances. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be another great day for us today. Temperatures fantastic as we went into the upper 70s during the afternoon, which is pretty good. We'll definitely take that. Nice shot. This is at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Looks great. We do have some clouds, which are starting to increase across the region, but overall, not too bad right now. Look at our front. All afternoon, you can see this little wind shift line right through the heart of the region. So cooler in our northern counties. It was a little bit warmer in our southern counties, but everybody went to at least 68 for a high today. Still that front kind of at the same spot, but starting to lift back toward the north. We're sitting mainly into the upper 50s. I don't expect to really drop off too much more. Well, let's say below 50 as we go through the overnight hours tonight. But that weak little front starting to lift north, and our southerly winds are really going to pick up as we go into the overnight hours. Outside right now, currently 7th and range line sitting at 57. Easterly winds are light. Humidity is at 49%. We are getting some clouds, which are starting to increase on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies by tomorrow morning and through the day. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies all day long. They're going to be mid and upper level clouds, so you'll still see some sun shining through, but a lot of clouds for us tomorrow. The beginnings of our next storm system, you can actually see all the rain right off the coast of California, LA, San Diego, up towards San Francisco as that wave heads toward us. All right, let's go through time. In and out of the clouds tonight. We're going to stop at 6 a.m., 48 to 50. As we go through the morning hours into the afternoon, we warm right back up into the 70s. I think the clouds will keep our temps down just a hair, but still looks pretty good. 48 to start, 68 by noon, high temp of 73. We are going to have those southerly winds, 10 to 20, so a little breezy at times. Tomorrow night, clouds stick around, not as chilly. We only drop back near 60. And then on Saturday, we get some hit and miss scattered showers, some scattered thunderstorms as we go into the early afternoon hours. I do not anticipate that those will be too strong or severe, so that is good news. And then Saturday night, our cold front drives in. Look at this little line of thunderstorms trying to develop, pushes in. Some of these could be a little bit stronger. Again, I'm not anticipating they will be severe, but could be a little bit stronger. Some gusty winds and some small hail. We'll get rid of the first wave, and then the second wave will start to roll in by the time we head into the daytime hours on Sunday, especially late Sunday. A shield of showers, thunderstorms right back into the area. But I think any severe weather mainly stays across parts of Arkansas, but we could get some pretty heavy amounts of rain. Then as we go into Monday, on the back side, we get a little mix of rain over to snow. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that as we go through the next few days. I think rainfall amounts 1 to 2 inches for most of us, which, hey, we need going into the spring months. 73 tomorrow, 70 on Saturday, 57 on Sunday, drop into the 30s on Monday, and we also have another chance for snow next Thursday. So Mother Nature's just been playing a few little games with us all week.
Yeah, tantalizing us with a little taste of spring and
Yep.
saying, not yet, my friend.
Nope.
It's still winter. Thanks, Doug.
Yep.
Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce today announced the nominees for this year's Golden Apple Awards. Officials recognized the 64 nominees at a reception in East Middle School. The awards are designed to recognize local educators who go above and beyond to prepare and educate the next generation.
This has been one of the best events to be part of, just because you get to see those students truly appreciate their teachers. You get to read the letters that the kids write, that the parents write, and say just the most amazing things about the students.
This is the 37th year of the Golden Apple Awards program. Ahead in sports, the Missouri Southern women pushed their winning streak to 16 games in advance of the MIAA tournament semifinals. Plus, it's semifinal night at the Class 4 District 12 tournament in Seneca. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Today is day 2 of the MIAA postseason conference tournament in Kansas City. On the women's side, Missouri Southern Lions are on the floor today for the first time, facing the Washburn Ichabods. Now, the Lions are the #1 seed in the bracket, enter the day on a 15-game winning streak. MIAA Player of the Year Lacey Stokes straight to the rim there. 8-0 run for the Lions to begin the game. They're up 3 at half. Southern goes on an 18-2 run in the third. Maya Johns hits the 3. Then Brooke Stauffer, one of her 2 threes on the day. The lead is 8 going to the fourth. Early fourth, Maddie Stokes turns and scores. She posted double-double with 12 points and 12 boards. Lacey Stokes, corner 3 there, 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists for Stokes. Just a 3-point game, though, with less than a minute remaining. Lane Skiles, corner 3, and that's the dagger for Southern. Lions win and move on to the semifinals, 62-54.
Extremely proud of our kids, especially on the defensive end. Once again, we've done a great job over the last 2 months defensively guarding people, taking them out of what they wanted to do, and then last couple games we've just done enough offensively to finish games, and we made big shots when we needed to.
We know, when stuff starts looking rough, that everyone's going to step up. We're not dragging people along to try and get them, to keep your head up. Everybody's head's up. We're all picking up each other, Brooke and Lane, our 2, and Amaya, they're, veterans, and they really have done a good job of keeping our heads up, regardless when stuff is looking a little downhill.
Tonight is semifinal night at the Class 4 District 12 Boys Tournament in Seneca. The tournament host Indians are on the floor tonight, facing Big 8 rival Lamar. Seneca, fresh off an upset win over 3rd-seeded Aurora, trying to knock off the 2 seed tonight. In the first, Connor Schaff takes the pass, hits the 3. First 9 points for Lamar, all from long range. Same spot this time as Joel Beshore at the buzzer. Tigers up double digits after 1. Then Morgan Vaughn kicks it out to Gavin Hoover. He hits the 3 from the far side. Back to Schaff. Tigers still knocking down 3s. They're pulling away. Later, bounce pass goes to Gunnar Dillon. He hits the reverse. Lamar cruises to the championship game with a 58-29 win over Seneca. Now, earlier in the night, 2 more Big 8 teams squaring off. It's Mount Vernon facing top-seeded East Newton. Look at this, man, is an all-timer. In double overtime, East Newton wins 56-49. So it'll be East Newton and Lamar for the district title tomorrow night. Crowder College baseball is on a 4-game winning streak. The Rough Riders are 10-4 to start the season and are ranked 9th in the country. The Crowder tries to stay hot today at home against Fort Scott Community College. The Crowder up 1-0, bases loaded for Peyton Holt. No doubt here, that's gone. Grand slam for Holt. Rough Riders take a 5-run lead. Now another big inning in the 4th for Crowder. Gavin Glasgow gets things going. Big hit all the way to the wall. Kenny DiClemente scores. Then Tyler Favretto goes the other way. Shallow hit to right. Glasgow comes in. We're sticking around in the same inning. Bases loaded again, and guess who? It's Holt. Bases clearing double here. Crowder goes on to roll by Fort Scott today, 15-1. Missouri Southern baseball also at home today, kicking off a series against Northwest Missouri State.
In this one, Henry Kuziak and Tragan Parker each hit homers. Southern wins today 5-2. The game 2 of the series between Missouri Southern and Northwest Missouri State will be tomorrow afternoon at 3 in Joplin. Well, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Corporal Forrest Nelson served in the U.S. Army. He's from Riverton, Kansas, and we are proud to salute Corporal Forrest Nelson, tonight's 4-state hero. Next week is the 63rd birthday celebration week for Barbie. So the Museum of Creativity in Fort Scott, Kansas is reopening its Barbie display area. The grand reopening is tomorrow and Saturday, but a few people tonight got to have a special time. Birthday parties for mother-daughter teams. Those teams could make their own Barbie dress and then do a full fashion show and photo shoot with their doll.
And so as I progressed and started collecting Barbie houses and Barbie dolls from thrift stores and had to decorate and create them, then it became a collection that would no longer fit in my house.
Again, the official grand reopening of the Barbie display at the Fort Scott Museum of Creativity is tomorrow and Saturday. Hope you've had a chance to get out and enjoy this beautiful weather this week, but if not, you still have another day of it.
Yeah, temperature is great again tomorrow. A little more on the windy side. We're going to have the south winds at 10 to 20 and a lot of clouds, but still 73. 70 on Saturday. Hit and miss showers during the middle of the day. And then rain really sets in by Sunday.
Final sports notes.
Both Missouri Southern teams still in the MIAA tournament. Obviously, the women will play in the semifinals at noon on Saturday. The Missouri Southern men play in the quarterfinals against Fort Hays State tomorrow night at 8:15.
And we'll have summaries of all of it.
Sure.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.